Hey guys, yes, I did. Kevin Okwana here. For those of you guys who know me, you know who I am. For those of you who don't, it doesn't really matter who I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through just step by step what we do at Karbon. And I know when you see any kind of video or somebody refers a video to you or says, hey, go watch this webinar replay, the first thing that pops in your mind is this worth my time? Is like spending the next 20 minutes listening to this dude sitting in his office going to be worth my time? And you got to really ask yourself that. And the answer is yes. So let me show you what I mean when I say the answer is yes. So I'm going to show you something that we don't really share very often. This is an admin area of a trading platform that I designed and developed over the last year. And what you're seeing right here, okay, and then you can make a decision whether or not in the next 90 seconds, this is worth you sticking around and watch. If you look at this, you'll see a P&L report. This P&L is the profit that was taken on a trade. Each one of these lines is an individual trade that was issued, opened, money managed, and executed on autopilot for our members. Each one of these is a different trade. This is 28% right here in this one trade. This is 10%, 10.68% on this trade, 10% on this trade. And if I scroll down here, okay, I'm just going to scroll through these. You can see there are a lot of them. There's quite a few. And if I keep on going, okay, boom. 34,126 trades, 34,126 trades executed on autopilot for members that didn't have to design a strategy on when to get in and get out of trades, didn't have to come up with money management on how to do it, didn't have to even put any thought into it. All they had to do was get a hold of the indicators that I'm going to show you in a minute that you're going to get your hands on, and then go ahead and set up an alert to take a trade, and then Karbon picked it up and ran with it, traded on their account, number one. Number two, they didn't give any money to the Karbon platform to do this. When I say that, I mean, this isn't something where you go, oh, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send a bunch of money into a platform that is going to trade for me. That did not happen. They have their money on their own brokerage account, and they're using Karbon, the system I'm about to show you, as a tool to go ahead and open those trades, execute those trades, money manage those trades, and get them into profit. And there's 3 different strategies we use to do this, and you can be up and running in the next hour. So let's go ahead and pop through this, and I'm going to show you guys what this is all about. But if you got this far, then you probably know that this is something a little bit different from what you're used to seeing, and you might want to pay just a little bit of attention to what I'm going to show you. Again, whoever sent you here, I'm sitting on a call with them right now, so I know that you're in good hands. Everyone on this call actually does with me right now has a very high IQ when it comes to growing incomes online, and you're going to be the beneficiary of that because they stumbled onto this, and you get to just kind of ride what we're able to do here. So let me go and share my screen. So first thing I want to get into is I actually want to talk about the trading strategy, because a lot of people go through, and you just saw what I showed you, and you're looking at literally 34,000 trades with 100% win rate. And I'm showing you just a portion of what we've done. All right. So how do you do that though, right? Like, how do you have 100% win rate over 34,000 trades? It seems impossible. And I know it sounds illogical, and it really is, but I'm going to show you how you're going to understand exactly how we do this. And the first part of this recipe, number one, is the actual trading strategy. So what I did was I developed what's called the baseline trading strategy that you're going to have. And it does the following things. One, we're going to follow these 3 rules right here to get into trades. One, we're going to do something called bouncing off the bands. If you think of a rubber band, the markets are bouncing off bands all day long. So I'm going to show you that rubber band and how we go ahead and bounce off of that to take in trades. Number one, that's how we know when to get in trades. But number two, to get in that trade, we also want to follow the money. When money is moving into a currency pair or out of a currency pair, we want to go ahead and get into that trade, okay? Based off of when we can see money moving in and money moving out. And number 3, time is on your side. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And then the same holds true when it comes to trading, because you actually want to trade typically on higher time frames, because it gives the algorithms and the software more data to work with. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. Now, that's getting into trades, and I'm going to show you how we do that, okay, how we get into those trades. But also I'm going to show you the loss mitigation side, because you don't get 100% win rate over 34,000 trades without having some rules in place to mitigate losses. And I'll say this before we talk about these steps that we take to mitigate losses and ensure that we win. Here's the thing: when you're trading, Up until the last 2 years, some of the things that I'm going to show you have actually been impossible to do, right? Impossible to do. If you've ever traded in Forex, some of these principles don't apply. They only apply on certain exchanges in the crypto space. So it doesn't necessarily apply to all of the Forex stuff. And you're going to hear me do things that are actually literally impossible in Forex, but are now possible inside of the crypto space because it's an emerging market. So keep that in mind. But here's what we do. We have a 3-step. This is the first 3 steps of our mitigation. Okay. Step 1 is we reduce the leverage of our trade. You see, what we do when we get into trades is we start out using leverage, 10x leverage to be exact. And when we get into trades, if we're starting to lose that trade, that's fine. That just means we need some more time. We reduce that trade mid-trade to 5x leverage. What does that mean? That means we're borrowing less money in real time to be in it. Because every time we open a trade and we open up, if you're unfamiliar with leverage trading, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm going to get in with $1 on this trade. $1, let's say that represents how much you're getting into. But as I'm getting in, I'm going to borrow $9 in real time to be in that trade. So I'm trading with the power of $10, even though I'm getting in with $1. That's leverage trading. You're using other people's money to trade. You're doing it in real time, and there's no credit check. So if those are like, wait a minute, do you have to go through a process? No, it's built into the platforms, right? So this is what we want to do, though. We want to start out trades always leveraging other people's money, the platform's money. That's how we start out trades. But if for some, in probably 30% of the cases, we go ahead and as we're in that trade, we might need to reduce the amount that we're borrowing, and we reduce that down to 5x leverage. So we go from 10x leverage to 5x. And then if we still need to take action on that trade, we'll do another step, which is to repurchase the position. Now, if you're in Forex, at this point, you're going, Kevin, that's called martingaling, and that's dangerous. In crypto, you're not buying another position. You're cheating. You're moving the entry price. And I'm going to show you how that happens. So you could be wrong about an entry position on a trade, move the entry position on a rebuy in, and then go lower it again to make sure that your liquidation prices are very low. Okay. So these are the rules that we're going to be operating under. These are the things we want to keep in the back of our mind. And you'll see how we take these from theories and put them into actual practice. So this is what we do. We use a baseline strategy. We bounce off the bands. We follow the money. We want to make sure that we understand 100% time is definitely on our side. And we leverage that time to allow the algorithms to get more data to get us into better trades. Then what we do from there is we have loss mitigation. If we start losing a trade, we can stay in it longer and we can actually fix our initial mistake by moving that entry price. Okay. So this is how we are doing this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in and I'm going to show you actually from a perspective of charts, what we're looking for when we get into trades. Okay. So let's take a look at that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and resume share. So this is a chart, and this is a chart on TradingView. Okay. And when you first see this, your knee-jerk reaction to this is going to be, oh no, this is weird to me. I don't like this. And the reason why you don't like it, most likely, I suspect, is because it looks like one of those machines in the hospital that's telling you if you're still alive or not. That's bouncing up and down. That's the feeling that I get when I pop on in and I look at one of these charts. So if it's the first time you've ever seen a chart, don't worry about it. You don't need to learn how to read charts to be able to do what I'm about to show you. This is why we have a system that is automated. Okay. And yeah, let's get into how we get into trades. So we use a couple different strategies to get into trades. And one of them that we use is called Bollinger Bands. So what we do is we have Bollinger Bands. And remember, I told you like, hey, we need to go ahead and get into trades by bouncing off the bands. So we're using a simple indicator that's been around for forever and a day, which are called Bollinger Bands. And you'll notice that we bounce in and off of these bands, right? When we touch the bottom of the band, usually we come back down. When we touch the top, we usually come back down. We touch top here, we come back down. If we touch the bottom, we come back up, right? This is what we're looking for, is to bounce off these bands. But we're going to get a little more granular with it. What we're really looking for is to open and close a bar on a trade outside of the band. So like this right here, it's opening and closing outside of this band. And this would be an entry position to get in and take a trade right here. This is part of the strategy. The next part of the strategy, okay, so that's part one. The next part of the strategy is we're looking for an indicator called the money flow indicator, okay? And these are free indicators that you can go ahead and get your hands on. So you can actually be up and running with this 100% free, like right after this call if you want to. But what you're looking for, okay, is you're looking for this to occur right here. You want to look at this money flow indicator that shows you whether or not money's coming in and out of a currency pair. And you want to get into a trade when it's way at the bottom. It's an overbought position, right? Or an oversold position, meaning that money is moving back into the currency pair. And you have a place where you're opening out side of the band. And this would be an entry point to take a trade. And when you do that, you're looking for a very small movement. Okay. This is a lot. This is a big movement, and it doesn't look like a lot. This is almost a 2% movement of a pair if you were to take that trade. So what we do is we're looking for this setup, this situation to happen right here. And we're looking for a movement of the currency pair by 1%. When that happens, if you apply 10x leverage behind it, you actually end up getting 10% of what you had in that trade. So if I had $1,000 in the trade, this move of 1%, half of what you see here, would net me that 10%. And that's what we do. But what we so happen to do, okay, so that's the trading strategy. All right. But what we did was I went back and I built an entire strategy based off of that actually does this. Let me remove this and let me turn this on. This is a strategy tester to test that exact strategy. And here's what we find out. We have 74 trades with a 100% win rate over the course of a year on this 1 hour chart. So these are all trades that would have went into that every single one of them over the last year, you would have ended up making 10% on that trade as it went ahead, opened and closed, and you won. That's the trading strategy. Okay. That's how we do it. So this is all we're doing. Okay. Now we're not looking, when we look at this and you see like, oh, okay, you got back tested 74 trades, 100% win rate. Very, very cool. But Kev, I'm sleeping when this happens. I'm sleeping when this fires off. I might be out at church. I might be at the beach. I might be out going and playing with the kids. I got life going on. I work. So what we did was we built out a software that finds these algorithms, finds these across 20 plus different currency pairs on multiple time frames to where you have 100 different configurations of this happening. 100 configurations. What you're looking at is one. You're looking at one pair on one time frame with one configuration, 74 trades, 100% win rate. What if we had 100 of these things happening for us over the course of a year, firing off? That means you'd have trades firing off every single day, right? That's what would happen. I mean, you're taking this and timesing it by 100. So what we did was we built a software that, one, gets these exact trades and finds them, but then two, takes those trades and fires them off into your trading account, and then applies the exact money management principles that we outlined at the beginning, and takes those trades through those steps. There's a lot going on. It's just that you don't care because you don't have to do it. I want you to think of it like this. I want you to look in your refrigerator. You've got a machine in your refrigerator that has 100 years of technology behind it that is designed to do one thing: keep your food cold. But you don't care how it works, right? You do. Maybe you do. Maybe you're silly and you care how it works, but most people don't care how it works. What they want is the end result. They want cold food. So what we did was we built out a system where you don't really need to understand every inside and out intricacy of it. You can literally come into Karbon and copy and paste our different indicators onto a trading view account that we give you and have it fire off those trades to get the result that you want, which is winning trades, hopefully, right? To the tune like you see here. I go back yet again, 34,000 plus winning trades. Okay. So that's what we have. So how do we achieve that? How do we take this strategy right here? Okay. Let's go back to it. This strategy, get it into your hands and get it firing off into your account. Well, we have a thing called the Academy, okay, inside of Karbon. And what you can do is inside of Karbon, you can come in here and we've got about 7 videos that walk you through how to get something like this up and running for yourself. Okay. And what you're doing is your step 1, you're creating a Bybit account. Okay. A Bybit account is an account on an exchange that then goes ahead and allows you to take these trades and money manage the way you saw me just doing. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, you're setting up a TradingView account. TradingView is a tool. It's like a hammer. If you want to build a house, you need tools, right? TradingView is the tool that we use to shoot the trades out and say, hey, get me in this trade. Everyone in Karbon gets access to our indicators, and they just have to click, copy, paste, and it will fire on over the indicator every single time. Every single time a trade is detected across 100 configurations. It's nuts. Again, this is one configuration that you're seeing right here. The 2-hour time frame is another configuration. Okay, you have 100 of these going on for you inside of Karbon, firing off. Again, refrigerator. You want your stuff cold? Refrigerator keeps it cold. Do you really need to know how it works? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, right? This is what we got with Karbon. So in the academy, we show you how to set that up. Okay. Then we show you how the indicator actually works, yet again, like we're doing now. And then we go on from getting started to setting up the bot. What setting up the bot is going to do for you is it's going to show you how to connect it into the system. Okay. If I go into this account, and this account I'm in is actually a user's account, right? One of our users' account. He's doing some cool stuff. He has in this account 185 trades that have won with 0 losses. If I go on over to his trades, I can see all of the trades that have executed on his account. And the ones that you're seeing here are in a stage, right? Those stages that we talked about. The reason that they're in a stage is because when you open up a trade, you usually don't just in and out win. You got to use the stages to get in profit. So like this trade at one point was in a stage 2. These were in entries, right? But he's got 132 of these on this one account that have all came back and won for him. And on his account balance, they're taking those trades from TradingView, firing it off, and Karbon's money managing it. He's got 11K in here. He's made $7,287. And this is over the course of the last month and a half during a massive crash where everyone outside of Karbon got liquidated. Okay. So this is what we do. You see a lot of stuff going on here because it's doing a lot of stuff. It just doesn't matter. You probably just don't care that it's doing these things. You'll learn it. But what you want is the trades firing off, the money management happening. So how does that money management happen? And what do we got going on here? Well, those stages that we talked about, money management, the system will manage it for you. It gets you into a trade for 2% on your account. The money's never with Karbon. On leverage of 10x, 3 trades open at one time. Anything that goes past stage 4 will be locked out. So you only have 2 of those going at once. So this is advanced money management, guys. It's doing all these cool things. You just don't really have to worry about it. The take profit is 10%. And then we have the advanced stuff. That again, I say advanced because it's doing this for you, right? But you're not having to interact with it. People ask me well, Kevin, how much time do I have to spend learning this stuff? Well, you don't. How much when a trade fires off, what should I do? Nothing. Leave it alone. If it's going to it just went into profit, it's going to take profit. What should I do? Nothing. Leave it alone. That's why we have a software to do it, right? Just let it be. But what the system will do is it'll open a trade, take you from 10x to 5x, then we'll repurchase in a position, lowering your entry price if you got it wrong. Okay. When I say if you got it wrong, I mean if the 100% win rate over the course of the last year got it wrong, right? Okay. So just so we know. So, and then what it'll do is it'll lower your leverage to 1.5x, then it will lower it to 1, and so on and so forth, protecting your trade. Now, when you're looking at trading, okay, everyone always asks me, I get this question all the time. Hey, so if I go ahead and put money in this thing and put money into Karbon and start trading, how much can I expect? Well, number one, you're not putting money into Karbon, right? Karbon is a tool. It's a hammer. It does some really cool stuff for you. It money manages everything. It opens up the trades. It closes the trades. It manages them so you don't get out, but you're never depositing money into Karbon, right? If anyone tells you, take your money and deposit it into our platform, and we're going to do all this stuff, but you don't have oversight over it and can't see it, probably a scam. You should probably walk away. What Karbon is a system that when you go ahead and connect your Bybit account to it, your trading account to it, and then opens those trades and closes those trades on your Bybit account. So the money is never on Karbon. It's in your account that you can remove, do whatever you want with at any given time. And for those of you advanced folks or people who want to test things, you can change every single one of these settings. I have it at the defaults. I highly suggest you keep it at the defaults, but it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So that's Karbon. That's the first part of Karbon. You have getting started, setting up the bot, connecting the bot, and these connecting the bot videos, you're literally, there's 53 of them. You're probably like, oh man, I got to listen to 53 videos of Kevin talking. No, you don't. Right. But what you do need to do is when you go check these out, you do need to copy and paste. What do I mean? Well, you need to go click on the actual video when you get to this point. Once you're set up, you need to go click on this video, open up this chart. When you click on it, it's going to open up in your trading view. You need to open it, and this happens to be a dot currency pair. And then you need to click on this button right here. All right, we go up here and we go add an alert, and we create an alert. And then we shoot off an alert from our trading view account into Karbon. Again, you guys get all this, okay? So this would pick you up if you did that, another 50 trades right there. So basically, by spending spending like 2 minutes to go click this, just literally, I know it sounds silly. I'm clicking this and it opens up in a new screen, and I copy this onto my charts. Now it's mine, it's yours. And all you're doing is telling it, hey, Karbon, go open this on this time frame, and let's check the video, the 1 hour and the 2 hour, and on this time frame. And you're looking at 19 trades you would have picked up on the 2 hour, and you're talking about another 50 trades you would have picked up on the 1 hour chart. Same for the rest of them, down for all of these different currency pairs and configurations. This took me months of configuring these, but you don't have to spend much. You just click the button. And if you need someone to do it for you, there's a done for you service here. And if you need PDF instructions because you don't like the way I talk or my face, perfectly fine. You have a PDF instruction right here that will help you out. Okay, that'll walk you through. But once you do the first one, you're probably just once you do the first one, copy, paste, you're good to go. Okay. Now you've got a bot set up that is taking trades from your trading view, that is executing Karbon, and all the money management that's happening just get you in and out of trades. But then we take things a step further. We show you what's next. So in the academy, we say, hey, here's what's next. Okay. Here's what you need to look at. Here's what my first trades look like. Here's the trade mechanics that are happening. And then I show you a B2K function. What is that? That's Bybit to Karbon functionality, where you can like take your own trades and push them onto Karbon, which is crazy. Okay. So I teach you how to do that. And then we get into the doubling my trade sections. So if you don't think that having these trades firing off is enough for you, if you're like, yeah, man, okay, I see that you've got, thousands of different trades firing off on these different currency pairs. But I kind of want some more. I want to get like double those. Can we get double those trades? Is that a thing? Yeah. It is a thing. So what we do is you can actually create a sub account inside of Karbon so that whenever you're in trades on one account and other trades fire off and come through, you're going to miss those. So we give you a way to have a sub account that is now an overflow. If you're in trades on your main account and more are firing off, they can go on into your sub account automatically, no extra charge to having that. And it's so simple to set up. There's literally 4 videos. I talk too much. You're going to find this out about me. And I did 4 videos and I had this done. Usually, most people might have shot 2. I talk too much. Okay. So 4 videos and you got doubling the trades. But then there's another portion of this, and this is the last portion I want to talk about because it's called the beyond the bot section. We go beyond the bot. And it's what you do. Imagine that when you get into a trade, let's say we look at this dot trade, okay, this dot currency pair, and we come on over, we look at December 4th. This would have had us in a trade, right? We would have came in, got into this trade, and we would have been stuck in it for 4 days. From the 4th to the 8th, we would have been stuck in it, waiting for it to come down and take profit, okay? But what we do when we get stuck in these, and Karbon starts going through the stages of money management, what ends up happening is an opportunity is created. Because for all the money you're able to make just moving this far on 10x leverage, right? 1% of currency pair. Imagine if once you got to a stage 4, you could go open up a trade and pick this up, this other 15.9%. At 10x leverage, by the way, guys, that's 150% on that trade. So what we do in the Beyond the Bot section is we say, hey, when you're stuck in a trade at like a stage 4, and you'll figure all this out, it's all simple. But when you're stuck at a stage 4 in trades, and you're like, oh man, I'm showing red and I'm stuck in this trade, then you can go, we show you how to take another trade on another sub account, push it to Karbon, let it money manage for you, and pick up to 100% of that trade. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to go on into our Facebook group just so you can see. Let me hop on into our Facebook group and I'll show you, because we were on a call earlier today and I noticed a post that somebody made in our group. Okay. And here's our Facebook group. We get in here, we do like, Zoom calls and stuff, and I get on with the members, right? We go through and talk about stuff. But people post a lot of things in here. Here's Jeff White that's doing the Beyond the Bot training, winning trades like crazy. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, he's never traded a day in his life, guys. He didn't have Bitcoin or know what Bitcoin was literally 20 days ago. And here's what he's doing, right? He knew what Bitcoin was, right? He doesn't live under a rock, but he didn't know how to do any of this stuff, right? He didn't know what an exchange was. He didn't know what trading view was. But he just went through the videos, and it's seriously that simple, right? But look at this. This is 3 hours ago at the time we're shooting this, guys. Woke up this morning to the biggest manual trade closed to date, 100% gain. He's just taking his camera and taking a picture of his Karbon back office. 98.99%. Crazy, right? That's the Beyond the Bot stuff. So some of you might not want to do that. You're like, look, I just want the autopilot stuff. I don't want the hybrid autopilot stuff, Kev. I just want the autopilot stuff. Cool. Don't do it. But as time goes by, you will wake up one day and go, ooh, I just want to go ahead and click that button and take that trade, right? And have Karbon Money Management take care of it, watch it for me, and get some kind of like crazy results. I mean, 10%, awesome. 10%, awesome. This is what the system wants to do. 20%, it's a little above and beyond what we normally do. And 98% on that trade, that means if he had $100 in that trade, he made another $100 back out, or $98 back out. That's nuts, guys. So that's what Karbon does. That's what we're up to, and that's why usually I don't get on webinars and even show this stuff. I think the last webinar that I did was in November, and it's February right now, and I just don't, because my job and what I do is I'm always working with our dev team to get even better trades, better entry positions, better functionality. We're always updating the software. We are by no stretch of the imagination done with what we're doing here. We got about a 5-year roadmap on where we want to be in 5 years and where we want our members to be. And oh, by the way, it's not going to be open forever, right? There are portions in the system that are closed down to new members. If I say, hey, we're closing it down, I'll tell you one thing you can trust is that we will close it down. And there will come a day when we will not have Karbon open anymore, number one. And there will come a day when the price of joining Karbon will be doubled, and it will be done with zero notice, because we're not focused on recruiting or bringing people in. This isn't some network marketing company. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's none of that stuff. It's a group of people coming together using a really cool technology and leveraging the time we live in right now to grow an income with trading passively, and then semi-passively for those of you who want to learn more about it, right? But grow into that. Don't rush into it, right? No, never overwhelm yourself. Just go through the steps. You'll be up and running. You'll have trades firing off, and you'll come back and go, holy crap, I want more of that. But our job on this end is to just make sure that more trades fire off, that we have better execution, that we're working better with these different platforms, and we're every day improving the system. That's why you don't see me on webinars promoting it like crazy, because eventually one day we will go ahead and double the price, and then eventually another day we'll shut it down. We don't want it getting too big, and it becomes just a club of a bunch of people hanging out and taking trades, and while the rest of the world is crashing. I'll give you one more thing and then I'll shut up, because like I said, I talk too much. There was a crash that recently happened where there was $1 billion in liquidations. That means $1 billion in lost money from traders within less than a 48-hour period. Okay. And inside of Karbon, if you had the default settings, meaning you didn't change stuff, you didn't move things around, you didn't try to make changes to the system, you didn't try to just do your own thing, you just let the system do its own thing. Default settings, copy, paste, that stuff. If you had those settings, then you made it through the crash, and now people are taking profits on those trades inside of Karbon. Outside of Karbon, I know people that got wrecked. They got wrecked because they don't have the money management working for them. They don't have the repurchasing happening. They don't have the deleveraging happening, de-risking going on mid-trade. They don't have those things. And so they just got wrecked. So to me, it's unfathomable that you can have $1 billion worth of air quotes traders lose all of their money, yet I can have somebody who 2 weeks ago knew nothing about trading, came in here, is making money with it, and then we have the biggest crash in the last 6 months, right? The markets went down like 50%, and they didn't lose anything. How is that normal person beating out hedge funds? Hedge funds this year are down like 10%, and we got members that are like, Kevin, I've doubled my account already, right? So how are we doing that when they've never heard of this stuff before? It's leveraging the system, the automation, and taking the work that I've done over the last year and just piggybacking off of it, right? So whoever invited you to this, get back with them, get involved. The only people I'm looking at the guest list we have, the participants we have on here, and they're all leaders. This isn't a public webinar where we invited a bunch of people. We just hopped on. My buddy Ari, we connected after a long time. I just think the world of him. I always have. And he's like, Kev, can we get on a webinar and show my leaders some stuff and, show my friends like what's going on here? Because he just got started. I'm like, yeah, we don't need to do it once. Let's do it twice. Let's schedule 2 of them, man. Let's hop on. Right. But I don't do that for everybody. It doesn't happen. Like, you're not going to see me on a weekly webinar doing like opportunity calls about Karbon, because no offense, I just don't care. Right. We have our members that are in here that are rocking it out. This isn't some recruiting thing where I need people to come in order to make a bunch of money from this. I make money trading. Our members make money from trading. They also can make money with the affiliate program. Obviously, there's a lot of money to be made there, but the main focus is always on the trading portion. No one's going to be like, you need to go recruit everybody. You don't. If you want to make money, you will, but you don't. You make money trading. That's what I focus on. That's my job. Okay. So anyway, welcome to the family. For those of you who are getting started, love you. I'll see you on webinars and all that stuff. And Ari, if you got anything you want to go over, my man.
Hey, I just want to come out and say thanks, Kev. I mean, obviously I hit you up last minute. We hadn't talked, I haven't talked to Kevin in years, man. I mean, let me brag on Kevin for a second. So Kevin was over here, actually. He was in Okinawa at the time. The first time I spoke to him, that was about 10 years ago. And then I think the second time was about 8 years ago when he was on Misawa in the Air Force. So you guys know his part-time job was helping Roger Landville. They built DS Domination. So you guys know that's where Kevin came from, DS Domination. If you've ever heard of that, you know how long that lasted. That lasted for years. Taught people the e-commerce platform and how to make money with e-commerce better than any single program on the market, including all the way to today. I mean, they built something that had never been done before. They literally blew up e-commerce. Guys like Rodney Burton and so many other people, they made their name in DS Domination. Yeah. And so, guys, what I'm telling you is I've never known Kevin to make junk. Kevin is not about just putting anything out. He's one of those guys that he takes his time, and, he kind of put it to you in a funny manner just now where he said he really doesn't care about the recruiting side, because it's really true. And everything that he's built, even in DS Domination, they never really cared about the recruiting side, although that company went to the moon. I mean, they had, hundreds of thousands of people involved in it. But here you're in a trading situation, guys. And guess what? Kevin's smart enough to know that once you get to a point, you do have to cut it off, because if not, the strategy and everything he's doing will affect the market. And I actually appreciate the fact that you just said that, Kevin, that you were going to close it down at some point in time, because that's a real big deal, man. The guys like me that want to just put $100,000 in and let it go crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got people in here that are doing, they come on board and we have multi-million-dollar accounts in the system, right?
Yeah.
And to me, just so you know, like if somebody comes in and they put in, don't compare yourself to those numbers. Like if you hear me say like, oh, we got, there's somebody comes in, they put $1 million in there, don't compare yourself with that. The way that I personally look at this in our staff, because we have a pretty robust support staff, we got 30 developers. The way we look at this is it doesn't matter to us how big your account balance is. It does not matter, right? Because we don't have access to that. We're going to money manage it either way. We're going to get you successful trades either way, right? So I've been on calls with members who have like $500 accounts. And when there's a crash, when something crazy is happening in the market, as it might do, you'll see me pop on webinars. I'll typically do a webinar and then I clear my schedule for like 2 weeks. And I put up a calendar where members can book a call with me. And I do calls with members back to back every 20 minutes, right? Because when there's crashes like that, it means there's a lull in trading. It means there's not a lot of trading going on for people who have been in for a bit. They might be stuck in trades for a week, right? They'll come back out and they'll win, but I'd rather be stuck in trades for a few weeks than like some of my buddies lose like 50K on their accounts, right?
Yeah,
but
I've seen that.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been on calls with members. Again, never compare yourself. When you hear us talk about, like, I don't even show my accounts because I don't want people to compare where they are in their trading journey to where anybody else is. The only person you need to be comparing your accounts to is yourself yesterday, not somebody else's account. Yours will grow, right? So I don't show those things. But my point is, I've been on calls with members, just hanging out with them, talking with them, 20-minute calls back to back, whether they have $100 in their account or they have $1 million in account, all the same to me, right? My job is to help make your money grow. So anyway.
You know, and here's what's funny about this too. You know, Alfredo came to me with this about, I don't know, man, right when you first launched it. So it had been like 5 or 6 months ago. He came to me with this deal. I didn't even have time to look at it because I'm so busy. I got house construction going on out here. I didn't even look at it. Then Alex came to me, hit me up again. When he showed me, I was like, I think I've seen this before, but I didn't really recognize it. But then when he started talking about it, I was like, oh, this is Kevin's deal. And now he was like, I was like, dude, I totally forgot who was behind it. And then when we sat down and we talked, you know, with Kevin, I was like, dude, I'm ready to go. Because like the results, guys, I mean, you know, from what I understand, you guys got 90,000 trades right now, right? 90,000 plus.
Yeah, I always show, like, I show typically the last like 2 months worth of trades on just one certain subsect in the system, and that's like 37,000 trades right there. So like total trades in the system, well over 100K. But I don't like to toss those numbers out and be like, look at 100,000 trades with no losses, because then it just sounds crazy, which it is. But I mean, it just sounds
crazy.
Nuts. Yeah.
But listen to what he just said: 100,000 plus trades, not one loss. That's crazy in this business, man. Like honestly, I can't even fathom that, dude. I'm so excited. I'm ready to get this thing going. So you guys understand, it's $1,000 to join. You make $400 on anybody that you sign up, and anybody they sign up, you make $100. So you only get paid on your first level and your second levels. It's not MLM. It's a true affiliate program. You do pay $50 a month. There is no residual off the $50 a month right now, but there is a residual component coming, right, Kevin?
Yeah, we can't talk about it yet. People are going to flip out when they see it, though.
So there is a residual side to it that is coming. It's not there yet, you know, but it'll be here. You also have a setup service, right? I think you guys charge $200 to set up somebody's bot.
Yep. And what we do is, yep.
I'm actually going to be your first customer, just so you know. I'm actually going to sign up for that and let you set it up, because I know you and I know you're going to do it right. And guess what? From what I understand, that $200, if you know somebody basically sponsor me, Alex, I pay the $200. Alex does get commission on that, though, right?
He does. Yeah.
Okay, so you make a little money on that too. So guys, that's the cool part about this deal. So you make money on the $1,000, you make money on the $200 setup fee. You know, it's just going to grow, guys. But I agree with Kevin 100%. It's not really about the recruiting here. It's more about putting money into the bot, letting the bot go crazy, and you getting paid.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that the e-commerce stuff that we did. I mean, that when you're talking about DSD and all that stuff, we never promoted the recruiting side. We didn't have to. It was focusing on, is the product good? Are people successful with it? Because then they'll bring people in, I mean, and it'll grow. So for me, it's always like, how can I make the best product? You know what I mean? What's the best product? My motto is like, buy it nice or buy it twice. If I buy something, I'm going to spend as much money as I can on it to get the best product, or else I'm going to be looking for something else. The same holds true with the trading platform. Either the company has a standpoint of, hey, let's go ahead and put all of our focus and attention into making this the best platform, period, or we're not. There's no middle ground. Either we're doing that or we're not. So and that's what we're up to. I mean, there's
I,
nothing like it out there. So
I appreciate that about you.
yeah.
That's what I was telling actually Darren, one of my business partners. I was telling Darren, if you know Kevin, Kevin doesn't make junk. If he made it, it's good. I guarantee you, because that's just Kevin, man. I mean, I think we're gonna have some fun here, guys. Kitty, you excited? You excited up there, Kitty? I can't hear you.
I am super excited. I've been excited, Kevin knows. I've been talking to him, we're in it to win it, Kevin. But we're
Yeah, let's
excited.
go.
I'm excited. I think this is a great, great project. And I love your transparency. That's the most important part for me. So, we're in. We're in.